I feel that Africa is a place that many people really don't know much about. There's so many stereotypes out there that people think it's just still third world. I mean, every place has third world, but I believe that Africa has a lot of resources, a lot of wonderful places to visit, places that people need to get out and see and visit and learn on their own and realize that it's not the stereotypes that are put out on TV and just on in media.
I've heard just pretty much my knowledge about Africa is pretty much what I've been taught in the school systems. I've done some research, but not as much as I probably should have to know where man originated and where we come from as a race.
Many people don't want to come back because they think that it's better off here. They don't realize that you have flourishing cities within your countries. They think that it's bush because that's what they've been told. And that's why I think we need to have a family reunion so we can hear the truth. I know because I've stepped on African soil. I have been there. I was welcomed when I came. And so there's this disconnect that a lot of African Americans think, well, they don't like us, they don't consider us. When I stepped off the plane in Ghana, when I stepped off the plane in Egypt, the first thing I heard was, welcome home, my sister. And the love that I felt when I went was just overwhelming. But when I was in Egypt, I felt, when my feet touched the ground there, I felt like I was at home, and I walked with God in Egypt. I heard all kind of rumors, there's nothing but, wild animals, how media can shape images within our minds of what we think something is. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way, but we began to see it that way because once we see images over and over and over again, we believe it's the truth.
About violence or corruption in the government, some like poverty issues, or maybe that you'd get a disease in certain areas. I know it's a very diverse continent and that it's not one country. Many languages and cultures. It's a very large continent. There are many different types of environments, deserts to rainforests.
And I figured out there's been a lot of lies told to American people about what's going on up there. And one thing about us African Americans and Africans, we don't communicate. We don't talk. We don't see a reason to talk. We don't even get along. People are scared. There's horror stories about Africa that's out of this world. There's stories that you get off the plane, you get bit by mosquitoes. If you're driving down the street, you're gonna get. There's horror stories that scared people from going to Africa before hip hop was around.
There are a lot of rumors and there are a lot of myths, but you have to understand that like a lot of it is supported by the images we see on TV. The leadership over there has to change too. And they need to strengthen themselves in terms of their infrastructure and not like color with wealth. That's not the images we see. You know what we see 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. We see babies, big stomachs, swollen heads, and flies.
That's an example of how we can start crushing the stereotypes and showing the truth in the images of Africa and how artists could benefit from being there and how Africa could benefit from them.
We got a lot of work to do, so it's beyond hip hop, but I think hip hop is an answer to get us to start communicating and start rebuilding our long lost family between Africa and America. I think this is the beginning. If you get more people like yourself coming over here and you get those brothers over there to realize when we're coming over here, we're making major moves. We're bringing serious artists to this place. We gotta change it. We gotta change the way the conditions are in Africa.
But what these stories also tell us is an arc of progress. From foreign rule to independence, from isolation to education and engagement with a wider world. It speaks of incredible progress. So we have to know the history of Kenya, just as we Americans have to know our American history. All people have to understand where they come from. But we also have to remember why these lessons are important. We know our history so that we can learn from it. We learn our history because we understand the sacrifices that were made before, so that when we make sacrifices, we understand we're doing it on behalf of future generations.
Yo, this is yours, Freddie McGregor, reminding Kenya, Nairobi in particular, we'll be there. Catch us live, Freddie McGregor and Big Ship Band, coming here to do one of the greatest reggae concerts you've ever seen. So make sure you come out and enjoy this one. So guess what? Make it a date, don't you be late. Nairobi, Kenya, Freddie McGregor, Big Ship will be docking your way soon. Come catch us.
Yes, if I had a chance to go to Africa, I would go tomorrow. So if I was given the opportunity to go to Africa, to Kenya, on a musical safari in August, yes, I would attend.
Yes, I would want to go to Africa. Hopefully I can experience that and before I leave, this earth. Yes, if I had a chance to go to Africa, I would go instantly, tomorrow. I'd like to go to the musical safari in 2016 in Kenya if I had the opportunity to go.
Because we have all of these young people who are here in the United States. They are dying here, and they could be there working on the infrastructure, doing various jobs to help out, to help build in Africa. Because I'm telling you, with the education and some of the economics that we have here from people here in the United States, if I had a chance to go back to Africa, I would love to go to Kenya. I have heard so many wonderful things about the country of Kenya, and I would like to go and experience the culture, the people, and the love.
If I had a chance to go to Africa right now, would I take it? Yes. Yeah.
I am proud to be the first American president to come to Kenya. And of course, I'm the first Kenyan American to be president of the United States.
I would love to join you on your Kenyan musical safari.